You know, it's always dangerous when you haven't had breakfast in the morning to be now in a kitchen with an accomplished chef. So let's get started in the Stone Creek kitchen today. We have our good friend Chef Frank Coloma from Sur la Table, who will be showing us some great searing recipes today. Good morning. It's so nice to have you.
It's nice to be back.
I'm very excited because, as most people who know me, they think, what is she doing in the kitchen? And I say, I always surround myself with people who know what they're doing, and then hopefully some of it will rub off on me.
Right, and you know, like we were talking about earlier, it's all about technique, and that's what all of our classes are about.
Yeah,
you know?
Easy for you to say. But you know, we're going to learn some great stuff today. So what we're going to do, it's like a blue cheese crostini with some applewood bacon, and what is this?
Cabernet reduction.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm in love. Okay, so let's get started.
So what I've done already is I've taken that bacon and render it down. Anytime you render, you want to cook it down nice and slow so that you remove as much fat as you can.
Okay.
Rather than throwing it out, what we're going to do is we're going to take that fat and continue to cook. So we're going to go in with our onions, and notice how you hear that nice sizzle, which is always a good sign. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, you know, the one thing about onions is that they smell so good when they're being, you know.
Right, it does. And, you know, what you could do is you can give this a quick saute, you know, about 4 or 5 minutes, just getting a little bit of color, or you can go the full 25, 30 minutes fully caramelizing.
And, you know, you have a lot of options when you're picking onions. So you want to do white onions?
Any and everything. You know, these are just regular yellow onions, but you could use white, you could use sweet, Vidalia if you want.
Gotcha.
So you let this cook down, get a little bit of color, and now all we're going to do, really simple, just add all of our liquids. So here's a little beef stock.
Now, is this an appetizer?
This is an appetizer. It's a really fun way to just serve appetizers, especially if you have a lot of people that you need to serve, because it's a really, really easy recipe.
Okay.
Here's a little bit of balsamic vinegar.
All right.
And of course, our wine. So this being a
I like that. Now, can we have any kind of Cabernet will do?
You can have any type of Cabernet. Rule of thumb is, you know, really cook with what you like to drink. You know, that's what really comes down to.
Like a sip of wine, a little, you know, pouring in of the of it in the dish.
And we're going in with other pour, just to give it a little bit of sweetness and more of that, you know, really rich color. What you do is you'd bring this up to a boil, drop it down to simmer, and let it reduce. So reducing, all it means is evaporating, cooking off the alcohol, and of course getting it nice and syrupy consistency. As you can see, here's what our finished product looks like.
Nice.
That bacon that we rendered earlier, all we're going to do is take that bacon and go right back in there.
Okay.
So we're using everything that we started off with. Give that a quick mix.
So now what we were talking about before is that when you're a really great chef, you never measure anything. It's just sort of to taste. But for those of us who can barely, you know, make water, boil water, you know, if we go to Sur la Table, you could give us these recipes and we'd have specifics on, you know, how much wine to put in, how much port and all of that.
Right, and that's what all of our classes are about. Everyone will get copies of our recipe packets. They come with all the directions.
Oh my goodness, can I smell this?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow, it's fantastic. Okay.
And there's our finished product. So what I've done is I've taken, you know, a baguette, sliced it nice and thin, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, toasted it, and now we can start composing our crostini.
My favorite thing to eat.
So all this is taking some of that bacon and Cabernet reduction.
And isn't it true about cooking too? I mean, you want it to taste good, but it's always nice to have a great presentation.
Absolutely.
I mean, look how beautiful that looks with the color.
And we use a lot of plates, different shapes, different sizes. We definitely use that to our advantage during class. And we're going to finish off with some of that blue cheese, kind of right over it, just like that.
Beautiful.
Give it a little bit of color, a little bit of chopped parsley and thyme. And that's it.
And so how long do you think it would take from beginning to end to put this together if you were having people come over?
45 minutes.
45 minutes?
But the longest part of it is letting it reduce, and that's what we're starting with right now.
So we would get this done, you get that done early, get it to this stage, and then, you know, your guests are starting to come over and you put it down.
Right, and that's it. All it takes is 30 seconds to put it all together.
You are fantastic. That's why we're not letting you leave. Stick around, because in our next segment with Chef Frank, seared ribeye, not grilled ribeye, seared ribeye with roasted garlic potatoes. Needless to say, I won't be kissing anybody after I taste that.
But it'll taste good, though.
We'll be right back.